Dear representatives of the Russian and Malaysian agencies, organizations, and businesses, it is my very great pleasure to welcome you all to our Russia-Malaysia Technology Day virtual conference. I'm Tatiana Titova, a Global Expansion Director for Russian ICT Public Development Institution, Rosinfocom-Invest, operating under the brand of Tech Global. This event has been jointly organized with the Malaysian Digital Economy Corporation and Malaysia-Russia Business Council with the comprehensive support of the Trade Representation and the Embassy of the Russian Federation to Malaysia. The conference is dedicated to the promotion of joint activities and cooperation in the field of information and communication technologies. We do believe that our countries have developed a significant potential for this cooperation, and we are most committed and to contributing as much as we can to this process. We heartily welcome here the ministerial officials, local authorities, and various agencies, as well as representatives of the business community. Our business marching will take place in 3 days. Today and tomorrow, we speak about smart cities and Industry 4.0. And on the third day, we will cover cybersecurity agenda. Now, let me open the official session. Today's opening keynote is delivered by Dato Saifuddin Abdullah, Minister of Communications and Multimedia of Malaysia. Dato, the floor is yours.
Well, good afternoon. Salam sejahtera. His Excellency, the Ambassador, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters. It is really a great honor for me to address such an august occasion. And I'm sure this is, among others, a very important factor in making the relations and cooperation between the two brotherly countries even warmer and better. I would like to congratulate MDEC for working with the counterpart from Russia, the Russian government ICT Digital Fund, and also in conjunction with, I have seen the proposal of the Russia-Malaysia High-Tech Center in Cyberjaya. We are living in a world where we celebrate technology in a way that has never been done before. On the one hand, we are trying to encourage people to migrate to use technology in a greater manner. The Malaysian government is soon going to launch its own National Digital Agenda and the 4th IR Master Plan or Blueprint. By the way, we are already having a task force on digital economy, which is chaired by myself and my brother colleague, Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Tuan Khairi Jamaluddin. And there are plenty of works before us. And I'm very happy that today we are having this conference. I understand that there are 16 organizations or companies from Malaysia, plus 18 Russian companies, and all will be presenting their state-of-the-art solutions. As I said at the outset, we are all now into technology, into ICT, the Internet of Things. We are now talking about artificial intelligence and so on and so forth. Many countries in the world, including Malaysia, are now embarking on what is now known as smart city initiatives and technologies. And I'm sure our Russian counterparts have lots to offer and for both sides to learn from each other. But on the other side, as much as we want people to migrate to technology and to do more work online and what have you, we still have to educate people on the importance of cybersecurity. I used to tell my colleagues we have talented people as programmers, as technologists, gamers, and so on. And we celebrate their success and we want them to be more successful. But at the same time, we also have to be aware of the fact that cybersecurity is the current most important threat, and it is international. By definition, it is international naturally, and this is something that we have to bear in mind. What we don't want is a situation where, on the one hand, we celebrate the use of technology, but on the other hand, the next day, we are frustrated by hackers and the black hats and what have you. So it is very timely that this conference or this meeting look at both sides of the story. On the one hand, celebrating the success of technology, and on the other, looking at the seriousness of cybersecurity. Now, I mentioned earlier that we are about to launch our digital economy agenda, but I'm also pleased to inform you that the Prime Minister, I think about last week, have launched the Malaysian blueprint, Malaysian cybersecurity strategy for 2020-2024. And the objective is to improve the country's cybersecurity preparedness. This will be under the purview of the Ministry and the National Cybersecurity Agency. And on our part in the Ministry, we have the CSM, the Cybersecurity Malaysia, which is a professional organization looking after cybersecurity. So brothers and sisters, I wish you all the best in your discussion. I wish to welcome especially our Russian counterparts, not physically to Kuala Lumpur, unfortunately, because of the pandemic, but I hope there will be a day very soon, inshallah, that we will be able to meet and provide you our splendid Malaysian hospitality in Kuala Lumpur and in any parts of Malaysia. So thank you for inviting me, and I will be looking forward to receiving reports, and I know it will be very positive. I'm very confident from the deliberations between all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dato. Our next esteemed speaker will deliver a welcome speech on behalf of the Minister of the Digital Development, Communication and Mass Media of the Russian Federation, Mr. Maksud Shadaev. Please welcome Ambassador of the Russian Federation to Malaysia, Mr. Nail Latipov.
Yes, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Dear Dato, nice to meet you on the screen. And good afternoon, Malaysian participants, and good morning those who participate in our conference from Moscow. And it's my honor and pleasure to deliver today a welcome address of the Minister of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media of the Russian Federation, Maksud Shadaev, to the participants of the Russian-Malaysian Business Match. Dear colleagues, I am glad to welcome you today on behalf of the Ministry of Digital Development, Communications and Mass Media of the Russian Federation. Today we work together in a new interesting format, an online business mission, and we have the opportunity to evaluate in real life how information and communication technologies allow us to develop cooperation under different circumstances. I believe that now Malaysia and Russian Federation have great potential for expanding cooperation in ICT sphere. I'm aware that both our countries attach significant attention to the development of digital technologies and their implementation in all spheres of life. Your country are carrying out the Digital Malaysia program. Russia are implementing national program, the digital economy of the Russian Federation. As part of the program, Russia pays great importance to the development of state electronic services, creation of smart cities, new generation of mobile internet, as well as cybersecurity. In 2018, Moscow took the first place in United Nations ranking of providing electronic services for citizens. Unique Russian solutions proved to be successful during last 2018 FIFA World Cup. Much attention is paid to the development of 5G as well. 125.6 million users are registered on the public services portal, 73.3 million of which are verified accounts. 54.4 million payments were made using the portal. General amount of payments is about 750 million of USA dollars. 23.2 billion transactions were made using interagency electronic interaction system. Both Malaysia and Russia have a comparable rates of e-government development rating and the global cybersecurity index. We have many points of contact for the exchange of experience both at the intergovernmental and B2B level. Today we can say that first step towards each other have been made. This fact is evidenced by many years of successful experience of Russian companies of running a businesses in Malaysia. During today's events, about 40 companies from both countries will be able to synchronize their watches on the future and ongoing projects. Despite the novelty of the current format of communication, I'm quite sure that the discussion will be fruitful. I hope that based on today's result, business of our countries will achieve agreements and cooperation between our countries will develop rapidly despite the current epidemiological situation. Minister of Digital Development, Communication and Mass Media of the Russian Federation, Maksud Shadayev. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, and I would like to take this opportunity to convey best wishes of success and health from Minister Shadayev. And he also expressed his hope that after situation will normalize, we will have a chance to meet in physical and to discuss different issues of our mutual beneficial cooperation. Thank you very much for your attention.
Mr. Latipov, thank you so much for the speech and for presentation on government priorities and Malaysian ICT landscape. Please welcome Ryan Chen, Head of the Global Business Development in Malaysian Digital Economic Corporation. Mr. Chen.
So thank you very much again for welcoming me. So my name is Ryan, and today I'm representing Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation, or MDEC for short. We're a government agency set up back in 1996 when the government decided to diversify the economy from a agricultural manufacturing-based economy to also a knowledge-based economy. Hence, having this vision to set up an agency to support the development of what we then known as the information or information industry, or the ICT industry. Of course, fast forward today, 20 over years later, ICT has now cut across every sector, and the word that we use today is digital economy. Hence, the name change to Malaysia Digital Economy Corporation. So digital economy is important to us. It contributes 18.5% to our GDP, and hence the focus on this sector. And when we look at it as a regional bloc itself, Southeast Asia, we're a bloc of 10 countries. And if we look at in terms of population, we're the third largest population bloc in the world, third largest workforce. And in terms of the world economy, we're fifth worldwide. So almost 650 people within 10 countries. So that is a huge market that everyone can look forward to tap on. And it's projected that the internet economy will continue to grow and will be one of the fastest growing economies in the world. And we believe that Malaysia is uniquely positioned to be able to take advantage of this, being centrally located, less than 4 hours away from any country within Southeast Asia, with a very highly skilled workforce and favorable government policies, which means that we are an ideal launch pad for any company that wants to come into Southeast Asia to position yourselves within Malaysia and to make use of the resources and the incentives that we have. So just look back in history, since 1996 to now, companies within our portfolio has generated well over $100 billion US in terms of revenue and created 180,000 jobs. Way back in '97, when we first started, there was only 4 foreign companies: NTT, Ericsson, Oracle, and Intel. And of course, today we count the likes of Google's, Microsoft's, Huawei, Shell, and IBM among the stable of companies located within Malaysia and operating here. Along the way, we've also been able to create many local companies that's been able to compete on a local, from a global stage as well. So MDEC today looks at 3 strategic thrusts. Number 1, creating opportunities for Malaysians to participate in the digital economy. That means giving them training and skills enablement in the digital sector. We look at end-to-end support for businesses, whether it is startups to scale-ups and also our SMEs, to help them to become digitally powered businesses. And then number 3, we look at foreign direct investments in the areas of digital to ensure that we are able to create a competitive environment for our local companies and to bring in key investments in the digital sector, be it data centers, animation, games development, and so on and so forth. So some of the focus areas that we have within MDEC, we look at obviously the upcoming technology areas: IoT, cybersecurity, fintech, drone tech, AI as well, and also niche areas such as digital content. Like I mentioned, gaming and animation, that is one of the core competitive advantages that we have in the region. As mentioned by the Minister himself just now, we have a digital economy task force that's set up and jointly chaired by both ministries, Ministry of Communication and Multimedia and the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, which aims to come up with policies and frameworks to drive the digital economy forward, as well as other initiatives within the government in terms of raising funding for our startups, laying down infrastructure to ensure that we've got the right connectivity all across the country, and also working with our stakeholders in government in terms of creating test beds and sandboxes to test out leading edge and cutting edge technology. Some of the a snapshot of the startup ecosystem that we have here in Malaysia. So it's not just government involvement as well. It's also very active in terms of the involvement of the private sector, from corporates who are actively participating together with our startups, and also infrastructure providers like co-working spaces, talent service providers like educational institutions, training providers, and funding institutions, of course. At the same time, once we have enabled all these startups to grow and to be able to scale, we also have programs that are working together with other partners in government and across the region to help them to grow and expand their presence in other markets. Looking at the startup ecosystem here, we are ranked 11 out of 100 emerging ecosystems in the world. And if we look at ecosystem by value, we are ranked 3rd in the world. We outperform in terms of performance of our companies and in terms of talent that we are able to access. And the key niche areas that we have that we can capitalize on would be in fintech, particularly Islamic fintech, Malaysia being one of the largest markets for Islamic finance, and also in gaming. The advantages that we can offer includes programs such as the Malaysia Tech Entrepreneur Programs, which allows entrepreneurs to come in on a 1-year or a 5-year visa to understand the local ecosystem, connect with the community here, and to start their businesses. Looking at in terms of talent, we are ranked number 26 in the world, and we are probably one of only 2 upper middle income countries ranked in the top right-hand corner, together with all the high income countries. And we continue to invest in this to ensure that we've got the right talent coming in to ensure that local companies and foreign companies setting up here would be able to access the talent to propel them further. The Digital Evolution Index also ranks Malaysia highly as a breakout country, ready to break out and advance in digital technology. So some of the things that we've set up to ensure entrepreneurs have a chance of thriving in this environment, including working with co-working spaces and certifying them as Malaysia Digital Hubs. That means bringing them in together, entrepreneurs, the private sector, technology partners, and also funders and mentors together to help them to ensure they've got the right guidance and right enablement to ensure that they've got the right skill sets to grow their businesses. Working together with corporate partners, we've been able to connect startups to solve problems and pain points related to the businesses. So all in all, we believe that we've got the right ingredients for companies coming in: strategic location within a fast-growing economic region, conducive business environment in terms of the policies and frameworks that we have, and strong government support across the board to ensure your business has a chance to survive. So thank you very much. That's the end of my presentation. That's my contact details over there. So if you need more information, just drop me an email and we'll be happy to come back to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chan. And our next speaker is George Mikibridze, General Director of Tech Global, with a keynote on Russian digital transformation. George, please.
Hello, everyone. I would like to greet all participants and to tell them Dobry dень. Probably you know it means hello in Russian. Also, I want to thank His Excellency Dato Saifuddin Abdullah, Mr. Ryan Chan, and Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko for the opportunity to present Russian IT solutions. Let me say a few words about Tech Global. Due to the success of Russian digital transformation, as well as due to active development of Russian IT companies globally, many requests from other countries began to arrive at G2G level. And the government of Russian Federation decided to create Tech Global. We have only one shareholder, that is the Ministry of Communication of the Russian Federation. And Tech Global is one window to Russian IT technologies. Tech Global works with more than 100 Russian IT companies that already sell their solutions and cooperate with more than 140 countries around the globe. What are these solutions? It's e-government, digital education, digital medicine, cybersecurity, smart city, 5G, and other technologies. Russia historically has a good technical school. There are more than 305 universities in the country, more than 924 research institutes, and more than 1,000 companies in the field of IT, which made it possible to achieve the following results. Russia is #1 country in the world in implementation of AI into manufacturing. And we all understand that such implementation increases the economic efficiency of the enterprises, including state-owned enterprises. In 2018, Moscow took the first place in the world in the United Nations ranking among smart cities, which indicates a high quality of the provision of digital services to the citizens. Russia is among the top countries in terms of cybersecurity, and it's clearly that cybersecurity is the biggest challenge for the upcoming decade. The country has more than 25 years of experience in building digital sovereignty. We'll talk about it a little bit later, and so on. We are here today to talk about technological opportunities and how they can help solving our problems in digital transformation, or how these solutions can protect the digital infrastructure of the state. What will happen next after this event? Tech Global will help to build the digital transformation process, select those competitive solutions that are most suitable for these tasks, and we'll also discuss the funding that may be required to implement these solutions. This approach has benefits for all parties. The government receives consulting on digital transformation from specialists from IT industry who have already implemented similar projects. The government gets a set of independent IT solutions that really shape its digital sovereignty. Integrators and IT companies get reliable partners, solution providers, and ability to create white label solutions or even localized solutions for the local market. And we all know that localization brings great benefit for the country. It creates new highly qualified jobs, brings investments, and of course, sets up production of local products. So let's talk. Let's become friends, and let's start implementing a joint digital project. I think we have everything for it. Thank you very much.
And thank you, George. And now Dear guests, let's proceed to our experts in the field of smart city and industry 4.0. And the first speaker will be Auni Alias, Head and Investor Promotion Relations of CyberView. Auni Alias, please welcome.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the Ministry of Telecommunication and Multimedia, MDAC, Russian Embassy, especially Nikita team, and also fellow audience in this session for today. My name is Auni. I'm from CyberView. I'm the Head of Investor Promotion and Relations. So today, I would like to share more on Cyberjaya, basically in terms of the Industry 4.0 and also in terms of the smart city. To start with, let me share my screen and to share with you on the overview of Cyberjaya. Okay, so that's about an overview what Cyberjaya is all about in terms of visual. I will share the slides or the link for the video later. So now let me start with the presentation on what Cyberjaya is and what Cyberjaya is all about. So let me start. So basically, Cyberjaya, we are a government-owned company. We started way back in 1996, aligned with the national agenda of multimedia super corridor. So we are owned by the Ministry of Finance and other government agencies as well. So the core role of Cyberjaya is to look into bringing in the technology segment to Malaysia by enhancing in terms of the digital ecosystem. So back then in 1996, we started as the landowner of Cyberjaya. However, over the years, our role expand and evolve to become the Cyberjaya city manager, the tech hub enabler during in 2015. And last year, we changed another leap to become the tech hub developer. So we bring in more in terms of the smart city and also in terms of the digital technology come to Malaysia. Okay, the core role, investor relation, basically we are bringing in the FDI, DDI, and also the ecosystem, industry development, where we help to grow the company from Cyberjaya. Tech hub development management and Cyberjaya city management is more towards the township matters, and also in terms of the management. Some quick information about the city. So basically, we are among the first cyber city in Malaysia, which received the MSC status for the cyber city location. Our population is not that huge. We are over 144,000 people. However, half of this population coming from the talent side, okay, whereby I think about 40,000 coming from the knowledge worker. This is a person or talent have a diploma and above, and we have over 30,000 student population in Cyberjaya alone. However, if we look into the, if we expand the radius of Cyberjaya from 10 to 20 kilometers away, so the number of student or population will grow rapidly up to 100,000. This is due to the close proximity of the university and colleges around Cyberjaya. And we also have around 400 MSc status company currently operation in Cyberjaya. The heavier bulk will be more towards the in terms of the ICT type of company. We have over 100 is doing the shared services activities, and balance I think less than 100 is doing the digital creative side. When we talk about cyber city, when we talk about smart city and industry 4.0, we need a good infrastructure in terms of the technology to develop. Okay, for example, in Cyberjaya, we are equipped with power redundancy. We have the telco redundancy as well in terms of the fiberization of the entire city. Second, when we look into doing smart city, you need to have a good wireless connectivity. Here in the city itself, we already develop or have in terms of LoRa network, we have 2 LoRa network, 2 NB-IoT, and also a fully functional 5G open lab. This is where we invite companies to test out their solution in Cyberjaya in a real life environment. So we have it internal testing and also outdoor testing with a certain radius. And on top of that, due to the infrastructure that we have in the city, it contributed to 60% of data center population in Malaysia is having their footprint in Cyberjaya. And this also helped in terms of contributing in terms of the revenue generated coming from the companies in Cyberjaya, which at around 14 billion ringgit. Next, I want to share with you in terms of the composition of the things that the city have. We have a good mix of multinational. Brian mentioned just now, Entity was the first MSc status company, and Entity is located in Cyberjaya. We do have various multinational companies in the city. We have a good local company as well in the city as well. This, what happened is that multinational and local company will able to interact and provide knowledge transfer, good collaboration, and so on. Another highlight of the city is that we have a good composition of government agencies. We have the likes of MDEC, MARI, Mike, the regulator, MCMC, the communication regulator is here in Cyberjaya. In fact, when you talk about cybersecurity, in Cyberjaya alone as well, we do have Cybersecurity Malaysia headquarters located in the city itself. And there is a lot of opportunity in terms of collaboration and so forth. What happened is that by having the government agency, this will help in terms of the visibility and transparency for the companies that operate in Cyberjaya and also do their pilot program or in terms of the testing in the city itself. Next, I want to share with you in terms of the new direction that Cyberjaya is heading, which is focused on the 3 tech cluster, which is the smart mobility, smart healthcare, and also digital creative. Smart mobility is more towards transforming the traditional mode of transportation with technology. Smart healthcare will be in terms of infusing technology in terms of the healthcare industry, and digital creative is where we want to amplify it further. In terms of the Cyberjaya, when we want to have a good technology ecosystem, we need to have a good program as well. So in the city, this is what we call our signature program, Living Lab, Cyberview Living Lab Initiative, which it covers four segments: talent, accelerator, pilot, and enterprise. Talent is where we help to nurture the talent with a new skill set. Once they obtain the skill set, they will be able to attend our accelerator program, where we work with our partners. This will be in terms of developing new products or developing new MVP. Once the technology or product is already been established, we offer the entire city of Cyberjaya for the industry to do the pilot testing. So here in the city, we do have good companies that I want to show that have successfully do the POC in the city and also able to deploy and commercialize the product. And lastly, in terms of developing enterprise, this is where we help the companies, the investors, the ecosystem to bridge with the potential market access or corporate partners. I would like to share more on some of the example that from Cyberjaya to the world. For example, Soka is a Korean company that do their first POC in Cyberjaya, and now as of today, after the POC is completed, is validated, they already deploy over 1,000 users across Malaysia with their services. Aerodyne, another good company, they started their journey in Cyberjaya last year, and now they already rank number 2 in the world. They are doing in terms of the drone technology, and also they are focusing in terms of their AI solution as well. Lastly, in terms of Wow Animation, is a local animation companies. Right now, they already broadcast in over 50 countries in the world. Just bear with me. Okay, so basically, once we look into having a holistic ecosystem, we need to understand as well in terms of supporting the investors, the companies, the ecosystem that come to Cyberjaya. So what happened is that early this year, we launched the Cyberjaya Investment and Services Center for the purpose of helping and assisting the investors, the companies that come to the city in terms of business facilitation, business location, also the city services and cyber city manager. This to ensure that the companies that in Cyberjaya is well taken care and able to get the support that they require in terms of their business journey and growth. And lastly, I want to share with you, Cyberjaya Malaysia is a gateway to Southeast Asia and Asian market because from Cyberjaya, it can be translated to Malaysia, and from Malaysia, it can reach out to the ASEAN market. Okay, market. That's all for my presentation for today. I have my name and email and contact here. Do let us know if you have any inquiry to learn more about Cyberjaya and Cyberview. We work closely with the likes of MDAC and also the Russian embassy in order for us to serve the community better. That's all for my presentation. Thank you and have a good day, everyone.
Thank you, Aoni. And now please welcome Ariana Zakiev, Regional Director of Tech Global.
Hi, everyone. All right, dear colleagues, thank you. My name is Renat Zakiev, so you can call me just Renat. I'm the Regional Director of Tech Global in APAC region. I want to thank you again, everyone, for being here with us today on Russian-Malaysian Technology Days. Of course, special thanks to MDEC and its fantastic team, Ministry of Trade and Industry of Russia, especially to Trade Mission of Russia in Malaysia. Thanks to Trade Representative Mr. Nikita Ponomarenko, Russian Embassy, Malaysian Russian Council, Business Council, and for sure Tech Global. Thank you for organizing this event at this unpredictable time. Thank you. I'm happy to be moderator here on today's session. But before we start our session, as a moderator, I would like to give some intro, like a short overview that I would like to make a short notes, a few points that I think are important right now in terms of discussing the technologies, new technologies, smart cities, and Industry 4.0 technologies as well. The relation between Malaysia and Russia continue to develop. Malaysia remains our leading partner of Russia, one of the leading partners of Russia. On average, the turnover is still growing by more than 10% every year. Just imagine this. This is official statistic given recently. Malaysia, like Russia, is slowly but trying to move away from a resource-based and oil industry economy, focusing development on its technology areas. Importantly, as we have already seen this today, COVID-19 has reduced and knocked down the demand for oil all around the world. So now there can be a mutually beneficial technology partnership between Malaysia and Russia, between our companies. But where is the problem, real problem, that Malaysian and Russian companies know little about each other and about opportunities of our markets. So that is why we want to help and fix this situation and increase the number of business opportunities between our countries. So Russia, like any modern countries, faces problems, difficulties, but it's true that Russia has a huge ambitious on its technological development. We will be happy to share our experience, and we will be happy to listen our Malaysian colleagues as well. So, what is Russia today? Expectation. So, a few words. Russia today is not just only about beers, vodka, and snow, but somehow it's true. Now it's one of the leading countries in terms of development of IT technologies, with a huge human potential and knowledge, with a good technological schools. Today, Moscow is a taken example, is one of the top smart cities in Europe. It's true. No wonder that is PwC included Moscow in the top world megapolises that are ready for innovation. So just for a sec, Russia's capital, Moscow, was the largest city of the country with nearly 13 million residents. So it's like 6 times more than in Kuala Lumpur, and it's a really huge city. And the integration of innovation is also slowed down by this factor. Despite this, Moscow has one of the best public transportation systems, and a lot of new public services are available for citizens right now and still launching every day. For example, I mentioned it here, that Moscow is the world capital of car sharing services. We just imagine for like more than 40,000 cars in a garage. For sure, it will also worth to mention that the world famous Russia has its cybersecurity school. Now we can also for sure add to this one the world's best developments in artificial intelligence and data science. So, but do not forget that behind any development, there are some challenges that certainly need to be discussed and for sure overcome later. Not an exception, the development of smart cities and Industry 4.0. So I mentioned several of them. I think we can go through this, and first one is for sure is unemployment rate. For example, McKinsey says that by 2013, just imagine 800 million jobs could be lost worldwide. 30% work could be automated. So it's all jobs cuts, new jobs created. That is why new skills required. So by like a PwC research, 53% of workers believe that automation will significantly change or make their jobs absolute within the next 10 years. So new world, new technologies, new skills required. So education is very important right now. So we all understand this. Cybersecurity becomes a super important as well. So with wider networks of industry for zero IoT, come broader surfaces for new attacks, threats, and all these bad things. For sure, more mobile world. So Gartner mentioned that approximately 70% of all software interaction will be handled by mobile devices in several years from today. So you see that world will change, and within the next 20 years, life is really going to change. New technologies, new business models, new people, new everything. So, for example, rapid adoption of application of artificial intelligence, enables collaborative manufacturing. Business will adapt, as I mentioned here, but those that do will profit, but those that not will go extinct. So, several words about us, who we are and what we offer. We're tech global. We understand that today's international IT market is huge, and there are a lot of well-known IT companies with the huge budgets, they're good, really good products, but most of all, they're costly. There are a lot of options right now in IT market, but we understand that there are a lot of Russian companies that you may never heard of with the state-of-art technologies, but they have a minimal marketing budget. That is why we try to carefully select the best of them and include in our portfolio, so helping them with the market activities. We help them to reach potential partners, and we help our partners to enrich the portfolio with such solutions. So potential areas of cooperation. So it might be smart city solution, digital, industry 040 solution. For sure, we have a very good cybersecurity portfolio and many more. So thank you. Let's go further. Here is a kind reminder that the company's presentation is strictly 7 minutes. So here is a list. You see it like a schedule. Let's go further. And also would like to mention that my colleagues will make notification into the chat. So please keep an eye on this. So thanks again. Let's rock. Let's go ahead. So first speaker is Oleg Garbunov, company GeoScan. It's one of the best drones in market. So please, Oleg, go ahead and make a presentation. Oleg, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you well.
Good. Now I will try to start my presentation. Yeah, now you see me. Hello, everybody. Hello, dear participants. Thank you for this opportunity to be presented in such an interesting event. We are working with Malaysia markets already for a year, and we are goodly connected with the trade representative Nikita Perimayanka, and we are working with the Tech Global also on that direction, and we see a lot of opportunities in this market regarding the drones and UAV sector. So of course, COVID situation has stopped us in our cooperation with the companies in Malaysia, but we are still working on our best solution for our best offer for the Malaysia market. And I hope in soonest time when the borders will be open, we'll be represented in the ASEAN and the Malaysia market. So let me introduce my company. The group of company JOSCAN were created in 2008 and start as a software company. And now we are a group of companies that is providing the UAV solution. And also we are providing the software for automatically creation of the realistic models, 3D realistic models. So now we are more than 300 people, and we are manufacturing and creating the drones, more than 1,000 drones each year. And we are done many huge projects. So our technology is based on 3 steps. First of all, of course, our UAVs. That could be fixed wing drones or quadricopter with many kinds of payloads. Then we are using our software, Meteor and geoinformational system Sputnik, to post-process the data that we are received from the UAV, and then to do visualization and any kinds of measurement that we need for our projects. And third step is the using of the created 3D or 2D data, realistic models, and do analytics for our clients and for our projects. So let me represent our fleet. First of all, it's fixed wing drones, JOSCAN 101 and 201. That's this drone, that little one can fly up to 1 hour and can cover up to 7 square kilometers. Every hour drone is integrated with the high resolution Sony camera and GNSS receivers. JOSCAN 201 could be in different types of the modifications. And it can fly up to 3 hours and can cover already 22 square kilometers. So it's very useful for large areas. Our multi-rotor solutions, the base of our multi-rotor solution is JOSCAN 401. It could be integrated with different kinds of payloads, starting from the high resolution camera and such interesting and exclusive solution as the magnetometers, LIDARs, and other professional solutions. We also have for classical surveying solution JOSCAN Gemini that integrated with high resolution camera and GNSS receiver on the board, and the weight of what is just 2 kilograms. Our quadricopter is Gemini flying up to 40 minutes and JOSCAN 401 flying for 1 hour. And our little multi-rotor UAVs, that is JOSCAN Pioneer for education sphere and JOSCAN Salute for show of drones. The software that we are providing is Agisoft Meteor. That is the software that could help you to create realistic 3D model for different type of works. So first of all, you are receiving the images from any camera, then you are uploading that information into the software, and in the end you could receive 3 types of the information. That is the high resolution orthophoto mosaic, cloud of points, and the 3D realistic models. Then you could upload it into any geoinformational system and receive any analytic or create a geoinformational system based on that model. So there's many different types of integration of our data. So that is the few project that we are done. That is the largest UAV streaming project in the world. We've created 25,000 square kilometers 3D model of one of the Russian districts, Tula, for the administration, and now they are using it. It's very useful as a geoinformational portal. You could see it in the internet. We also have done the hugest projects in aeromagnetic surveying, in the road surveying, and we are working with top five gas and oil companies for pipeline monitoring, and also we are working with the power lines also as the linear monitoring and creation of the geoinformational system that could be that could help to manage such a huge and large objects. There's the spheres in what we can use our UAV solutions and our 3D models. As you can see, also it could be used in such professional spheres as cadastral or mining, and also it could be used in such an interesting sphere like tourism. And in the show drones, of course, this is one of our best solution and interesting. I will mention about it further. So let's talk about where we can use our solution. First of all, of course, it's the cadastral and land management. As we are receiving very high resolution and very good positioned images, we could do any measurements. And of course, first of all, it's the land measurements and land management. So by as we are receiving 3 centimeter per pixel images, we could measure every parameter. That could be height, depth, or anything else that we need for measurements, and we could cooperate that information with the information that we are receiving from our engineers, cadastral engineers. So, and understand how sharp is our information and how sharp is our system. So by our experience, we found the few problem in that sphere, and that could be fixed with our information very systematically. So that is very interesting sphere of usage. Of course, our cities are developing every day, and to do it smartly, to do it very effective, and do effective management, we must understand how it will look like from the side. And our 3D realistic model could help you on each step. So from the step when you are planning the construction till you starting the lifeline of the structure, and you must manage it with with some kind of system. You are creating the information system based on that 3D model. So you could see even from the side how will look like the building in the future. So that's also very useful sphere. Land supervision, that is for the administration of the city, useful because you could cooperate different type of the data with the real new created 3D model, and understand what has changed automatically, what lands are reclaimed or something else. So for analytic, for statistics, that is very useful information. Agriculture is one of our very effective and good sphere when we are using our agro drone. Here we are using the fixed wing drone ZeroScan01 Agro that is integrated with 2 cameras. It's creating surveying in 2 channels in the same time, in the visible channel and in the infrared channel. Visible channel gives us opportunity to create realistic 3D models of the terrain, of the fields, etc. And we can measure it and do reclamation, do some planning, etc. And infrared channels give us opportunity to create vegetation maps and create individual indexes maps. So by this information, we could rule the harvest, that appraise the harvest, and indicate some yield of the crops and many other things that we could do with this information. So agronomes are saying that is the very good instrument to rule the harvest and to rule the vegetation levels of and by our experience, we could appraise the harvest on the 20% with using of our methods. By by economy on the increasing of the so next step is the tourism. So by our experience, we could create the 3D models of the touristic areas, and that is pricing the tourist stream. We approved that method here in Russia on the Caucasus tourism area. So by created the 3D model of that area, we create the geoinformational system, and people before they come, they could see the area where they applying to visit, and that is helping them to choose the area that they would like. Geodesy, of course, when we are talking about high resolution models like DTM, digital terrain models, we could use that information as we have a very high resolution information. We could use it for geodesy to measure our lands, our areas. The resolution of our images is 3 centimeters per pixel. So we could do cadastral work, we could do geodesy works, and create the topographical maps with the scale up to 1 to 500. So that is very close for plans, that not exactly maps, that is plans. And to not go anywhere, so by using our images, we can create the huge areas.
Oleg, sorry for interrupting you. So don't forget about timing. Please,
just a minute.
Skip faster and wrap up. Thanks.
Aeromagnetic surveying is our exclusive technology based on our quadricopter with magnetometer. We could research natural resources under the ground. So by flying by the shape of the relief, we could understand what kind of deposits are below the ground. It could be metals, golds, diamonds, etc. Mining on the open pits, we could create the 3D models and could rule and could manage all the open pits and mines. Gas and oil sector, as I mentioned before, we work with top 5 company in the world. So by using our method, we could do the monitoring of the pipelines and inspect high rises. So it's very useful. Public road system, that is the similar like the construction, but in the road sectors. Electronic power industry, we could monitoring it with the fixed wing, and the quadricopter gives us opportunity to do high-rise inspection also. Construction, we could control the situation at the construction area and could cooperate 2 different 3D models and understand how many materials we are used for different type of timelines. And of course, our show drones, that's exclusive, that is our exclusive that we can do. In this year, in September, we set up the world record with 2,200 drones in the same time in St. Petersburg, and we'll beat the world record. Now we are leading in this sphere, so that is one of our exclusive technology. Education, of course, when we're talking about UAV, we need the specialists, so the educational kit, Just Come Pioneer, is very useful for high schools, for the colleges and the universities. Actually, that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for your time. Thank you for possibility to show you our technologies. You could reach us through our trade representative, Nikita Ponomarenko, or through our good friends, the Global Tech. So all our information is through them. We'll be happy to talk and cooperate with any companies in Malaysia, and hope we will see and come to Malaysia soon with our first pilot project. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Alec. Yes, drones is becoming more advanced and really important nowadays. Even like in this COVID situation, they might help us to fight viruses, help people, and in different areas. So let's go ahead. Fusion X. So this is high-class analytics, big data, IoT, deep learning solutions. So please, Chua.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody in Malaysia.
And don't forget about timing, please. Yep.
Yes, and good morning to everyone in Russia. Let me just share my screen now. Do you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
FusionX overview, yeah, we can say that.
All right, my name is Chua Yi, Managing Director for Enterprise and Public Sector for FusionX. We are a Malaysian company, but we have regional and global presence and reach. So I will today share a very quick overview of the company and our products, hopefully to stimulate conversations that we can then have with our counterparts, potential partners in Russia. So we're thankful for this opportunity, of course, to be able to connect. And, you know, Russia, I think, is a country in which we are keen to be able to explore and develop opportunities there. So in terms of FusionX, we are a market leader in big data management and analytics, machine learning, AI, IoT, and IR 4.0. We focus in quite a number of areas, particularly in retail, e-commerce, trade facilitation, travel and hospitality, and really in any area or space in which there's data to be managed, to be analyzed, to be able to draw insights from and actionable items as well. That would result from that data. So in terms of, you know, the company and who we are, where we've come from, I think we are about 15 years in the business. We are, of course, Malaysian based, but because of our global reach, we are connected in marketplaces around the world. And you know, we serve in terms of the collective of our enterprise customers, as well as the marketplace ecosystems that we are involved in terms of e-commerce and trade facilitation. About 18 million members globally served, which produced a gross merchandise value of more than 17 billion US dollars. That's, you know, in terms of the trade that's facilitated through e-commerce and so on, which is huge, I think, but certainly a lot of room to grow. And, you know, I think significant in the sense of adding a significant market such as Russia as well. I think that will allow us to grow exponentially as well. Yeah. In terms of what we do, I think we have got proven solutions. We've got awards that are both Malaysian based as well as regional and international, as you can see. We also work very closely with the globally leading cloud providers in terms of hosting of our solutions, in terms of collaboration in market and so on. And because of that, I think we create a proven and strong ecosystem in which you know, we'd like to continue to onboard new customers, new opportunities, new partners. Yeah, we are one of the few companies that are cited in the Gartner's Magic Quadrant report, and one of the largest, if not the largest technology, data technology company in this region. Just a bit more of a flavor of FusionX presence in terms of notable mention in the likes of Forbes and Gartner reports, Frost and Sullivan and IDC. We are very fortunate to have that kind of a coverage, and we hope to continue to be able to build on that and elevate our position as well as that of our customers and partners, of course. So I've mentioned we are pretty much in every major market in the world. A lot of our focus, of course, is in this region, in Malaysia, in Southeast Asia, but we do have solid presence in the US, in Europe, and we hope to add to this list as well, Russia, and being one of a very good high potential market as well. We see that as very relevant to our business, and we feel that there are many opportunities that we can provide and add to the Russian market, and vice versa. We're looking towards also potential partners in which we can work together within either the market of the Russian business sphere, or with opportunities in the Southeast Asian or Malaysian markets as well. We are a standards-driven organization. I think that's very important because we deal with millions and huge amounts of data, customer data, and their users' data. So we are very particular about data management, and we have the relevant ISO certifications to ensure that we deal with the data in the right way. In terms of product spread, of course, we've got our big data analytics solutions. We have our platform called Giant that provides the big data analytics backbone, I would say, that we then build upon in terms of many other solutions such as artificial intelligence like solutions, smart government solutions, as well as and this is a very big space, trade facilitation and e-commerce, that has been a focus of ours in the recent years. So we tend to look at building our solution base with customers not on an implementation basis, but more on a long-term ecosystem-driven basis, in which we can then build our platforms together with our partners and our customers to derive longer-term value over an extended period of time, rather than from a system implementation approach. And we find that has always been very much more beneficial to all parties, because then you be able to derive long-term value, which is more sustainable. A bit more on our solutions, as we talked about the backbone of big data analytics and the core technologies that we provide. We build on top of that solutions such as the central reservation systems. We provide this to large integrated resorts, to hospitality players who want to run their own real estate in terms of room reservations and so on, which with their own brand. We provide solutions such as that. Loyalty management solutions for customers with large subscriber bases in the millions. We provide these to be able to manage customer profiles, their needs, their interests, as well as their points and utilization of those points. We have a host of other solutions as well, maybe too many to list here, I think. But essentially, we like to build ecosystems, starting a lot of times with big data analytics, and then building the customer journey from there to build solutions that fit their needs, whether they are in loyalty management for their customers, or in more bespoke solutions that address their immediate business needs. We also do work in government. We provide analytic solutions in government. We provide solutions that benefit government ecosystems, for example, in government agencies that manage SMEs. We provide trade facilitation platforms or business engagement platforms for the government to be able to more effectively stimulate the growth within the SME space, for example. And I'll end with this slide, I think, just to give a bit of a snapshot and flavor of the kind of work we've done. You see on the slide, very different and diverse range of customers in the public and private sector space, and that ranges from banking over to retail and automotive, logistics players, government, as well as e-commerce players and telco and hospitality players as well. So with that, I think I'd like to end with a note of thanks to the organizers on both sides, on the Malaysian side as well as on the Russian side, to have been able to bring this event together in these challenging times. I welcome further discussions, further conversations that we can have to explore opportunities with the various participants here today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chu. Yes, very impressive list of clients. Thank you, very good presentation. I hope we can help to build you a strong technological partnership with Russian companies. So thanks again. Let's go ahead. So we have slight changes here in our scheduling, and let's go to company called Vitrox. So Gary Lam, automated vision inspection and different kind of electronic communication equipment. So please, Gary.
Hi, good morning over in Russia, and good afternoon for fellow Malaysians here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, absolutely. Yep.
Yes, you can see my screen?
Good.
Okay, good. Thank you. My name is Gary Leong. I'm the Director of Industry 4.0 and Ecosystem Development. Vitrox is actually a Malaysian public listed company. We have been here for about 20 years. So this year we celebrate our 20th year anniversary. And then, to share with you that we are actually one of the world's leading in terms of machine vision solutions provider. And we are also venturing into Industrial 4.0. Of course, everybody is doing that as well. And this area, we are actually in the northern part of Malaysia. Malaysia is actually like the land connected to Thailand, and then we have the northern part, which is called Penang. Okay. One day, or hopefully soon, with the pandemic is over, we welcome the fellow from Russia to visit us as well. So there are two agendas. One of the areas is that actually in terms of the industry of IT, the big data analytics for manufacturing sector. Just now, my good friend over there in FusionX talks about the other sectors. Over here, we specialize in the manufacturing sector because we are also one of the manufacturers of machines. And then AI analytics for the cloud and also industrial IoT. So I will share more as we continue on this presentation. Okay, so sharing the market opportunities will be two areas. One, in terms of the vision inspection machines for the electronics industry, whereby we're looking for sales and support representative or even distributor in Russia. We have expanded all over the world except Russia. and maybe Australia. Yeah, so this is two areas we are looking into representative of our equipments being utilized over there. And also the second one, of course, looking into who are the semiconductor and also the electronics assembly companies in Russia. And the third one are the big data analytics for manufacturing sector, looking for system integrators because we cannot always fly over there, and looking for partners in terms of how do we add on using our business intelligence or data analytics for the manufacturing and also the industrial IoT. Just a little background of Vitrox is we are a local Malaysian company, headquarters as I mentioned in Penang. Our market cap is about US 1 billion market cap, in euros about almost 1 billion as well. And then we have about 700 plus people in all over the world, mainly in Malaysia and China, where one of the biggest market is. Of course, we have machines or listing in stock in many areas close to Russia. Okay. So what is our machine vision, particularly in the equipments that provides the semiconductor components? For example, a lot of components are being built into electronics today. And then, for example, one of the phones that you probably are having right now is inspected by at least one of our machines, either in the semiconductor or in the electronics industry. So we are also in the automotive, where we check the components in terms of the fuse. As we are going into pharmaceutical inspection in terms of the pills that you may take, and then also in precision farming because of the global scarcity of food, and then it's a global need for food all over the world. So we're here to, of course, to help the farmers, the local farmers, and also, of course, in the green technology in terms of the PV, for the inspection of the PV area. So the Vitrox solution in terms of started off with the semiconductor, where on this left-hand side, give a pointer. On this left-hand side, we start off with this machine vision that we incorporate into machines that's built by others. Then, after several years of experience, we incorporate our own automation into our own machines, and then after that, we move into the electronics assembly sector. So now we are strong in the semiconductor as well as the electronics assembly, which were our market of almost 25,000 machines worldwide. And then going into robotics inspection as well, especially in the industrial area. And then all in all, we connect our machines with our data analytics called V1 to connect, and then having the AI analytics at the back of it. So this allows machine manufacturers, process engineers, especially engineers, to fine tune and also to improve their yield, and also their products in the manufacturing. So this is what V1 is about. So we connect to systems, machines, to IoTs to collect the data. And of course, we visualize it in dashboards, because a lot of dashboards so you can play around with it, create on your own instead of us. And then where our SI will help the customers to create the visualization dashboards and charts for the customers, because every types of manufacturing will require different areas of specialty. And then proactive action, as in this ProAct, to allow them to give what are the parameters. And now today we have built in with AI, machine learning, that's able for them to put in different models and then check the model before it's inferenced into the right edge or even the right areas before the machines can be used. Right. So these are the standard ways of using analytics in terms of connecting to systems, connecting to the data, and then visualizing and adding on to AI processing. So who are our customers in terms of worldwide? A lot of the top 15, top 20 electronics manufacturing in the world are already our customers that uses our machines and also our data analytics, mainly in the electronics industry. I think the names over here, some of it could be also in Russia. For example, like JBL Flex in Russia as well. And then a lot of it in China and Taiwan, and also other places like Mexico, US. Okay. Other semiconductor industries, mainly of them are in the Taiwan, China, and also Korea, where these are the main areas of the growth, especially this semiconductor. So these are the areas that our stronghold are at. Okay. Our global presence are actually all over the world, where we have offices and our partners' offices all over the world, except I said this Australia we don't have yet, and Russia we don't have. We are closest to, we have machines and also people in Slovakia, in Ukraine, in Poland, and Romania. I think over here we have about almost 30 machines over there and connected to our data analytics as well. So that is, hopefully one day we have something in Moscow and also certain parts of Russia as well. So we're looking for partners around this area to assist us. And sorry, we don't speak Russian. And then this is just where our headquarters building is. So it's, of course, it's moving towards green technology. And then this is where we are right now in Malaysia for me. Okay, and we are expanding. So all in all, I have a lot of testimonies that are actually on YouTube. You can go to YouTube, search for Vitrox to understand more about our company. This is our corporate video. This is also one of the clients' testimony in terms of JBL for us. These are our products for our machines. Go for search of Vitrox, you can see all these things available. If you search for Vitrox space V1, this is where our analytics video is all about, and our customers' satisfaction of our products and also our services. So I think today, because of time, so just you can browse it on your own, just a YouTube search. It's pretty easy. And then, yeah, that is the last slide. Thank you very much. Feel free to contact me.
Gary. Thanks, Gary. Everyone, here's like a kind reminder that we have a chat here. So if you have some questions, just put down them there. So don't forget about this opportunity. Thanks, Gary. Very good presentation. I am already on your YouTube page. So look later. Some of your materials are very impressive as well. Let's, without further ado, let's go to next company. This is a Russian company called Goodone, and its representative Denis Muravyov. So let's talk about complex approach to IoT solutions and their integration to the modern business processes. Denis, please.
Yes, hello everyone. Is it okay? You can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. So I am the CEO and one of the founders of this company. Basically, we're radio professionals and we are good at making different wireless technologies and sensors. It so happened that our R&D development team has over 20 years of similar experience. At first, these were space communication systems. And when the creation of wireless security systems that are now used all over ex-USSR countries. I think around 11,000 of gateways installed and maybe 3.5 million of devices are connected using our technology. And now we are working on a technology that allows us to send the signal for tens of kilometers from a small battery, and device could work up to 10 years and even more. Such networks are called LP1, it's low power wide area network. And there are a lot of technologies are used in the world that relate to communication systems for the Internet of Things. In our opinion, Internet of Things was invented by mobile operators because the number of smartphones on the planet has exceeded the number of people and the subscribers are over to whom to sell further. How it would be great to attach a small cell phone to everything that's around us. There are much more things than people. And according to various forecasts, cell operators were supposed to occupy up to 90% of the market for IoT. However, this didn't happen. I now think that we will not be able to occupy more than the half of the market. The predictions of Gartner, Forrester, and others also didn't come true. They promised that this year there will already be billion of things connected to the internet, but we have not even come close to the promised figures, mainly due to technological or financial constraints. A lot can be done using the technologies of cell operators, but it's quite expensive. And there are a huge number of cases where we are the only working solution considering these limitations. In overall, the market is growing, as you can see on this slide, and this can be an excellent opportunity for a Russian-Malaysian partnership in this area. So they are not the first company on this market, and we are carefully studied the solutions that already being sold and used are represented on the market. These solutions have several advantages and several limitations, and we set ourselves an ambitious task of making the perfect, I would say, ideal technology for connecting things to the internet. That's why our trademark connect the words good and then together. It's not all out of the blue. 20 years of experience has allowed us to make solutions that are far ahead of our competitors. Many problems we just haven't faced yet was already solved by us using our previous experience. And we started producing such devices 20 years ago. The term Internet of Things didn't yet exist at that time. It appeared about 5 years ago. And we also developed and patented the technology for dynamic encoding of device addresses in our network, which made it possible to bring security to a fundamentally new level by using end-to-end encryption and solve the problem of roaming at the same time. There are no other LP1 technologies in the world with a similar level of security. We understand that the future lies with the open technologies. In the near future, we plan to open our protocol completely to other market participants. Good One modules will soon be on sale, which will allow third-party developers to easily connect their devices to our radio channel. And we try to rethink the tasks in which our sensors are used, and wherever possible, we try to reinvent the new way of solving the task and refuse the down channel. This improves the cost and efficiency of our devices, and we understand that it's common for users. We want to have a back channel, but in most cases, it's not really needed. The one-way channel is largely underestimated. And we have chosen the blue ocean strategy for ourselves, and we are developing devices designed for supermass applications, which are needed in almost every sector of economy. But today we are talking about smart cities. And as you can see on the slides, we are developed a lot of solutions for monitoring different tasks for city infrastructure, like monitoring of cables and sanitary sewers, manholes opening, monitoring of employees, city lights, trash containers, smart meters, power equipment, water level monitoring, and other things. Here is the Moscow city, and there are a lot of devices already installed in Moscow and in other cities of our country. We will go deeply in details on future slides, but the idea is to monitor a lot of parameters across city, and we even developed a special term, Internet of Events, not Internet of Things, because when you collected raw data, you can collect a lot of data, but only a few amount of this data means something to you. So we call them events, and you need to know exactly what's happening and when it was happening. So this is our smart sensors in real life. As you can see, it's perfectly for winter conditions. Maybe it's not relevant for Malaysia, but there are a lot of countries with a cold climate like we have in Russia. So all our devices are working well, starting from -40 until +60 degrees of Celsius. So here you can see the network gateway installed on the roof. It's a basis for connecting of all of our sensors, and they send information using unlicensed frequency band 868 for Russia. It could be differs from country to country, but it's only a software setting. So we are easily create a solution for every country. Here represent other solutions which are used to monitor the water levels inside the deep holes in the ground, and we can transmit information even from under the ground or from closed roof of this manhole. And here is also the sensor that monitor the logical state of electric contact, and you can see whether the power supply is on or off or it's changed. The sensor measures air temperature and humidity. Here is on the screen, you see it's installed inside the fridge. So it's not a problem to send a signal through the metal groundings that are surrounding the fridge. It works up to 5 kilometers even from that conditions. Here's our mini Meteor stations, which were developed by request of Russian company Rostech, and it measures practically 30 different gases could measure. It's model technology, so you can choose which sensors are installed and used. There is also different air quality sensors for indoor using, and right now they're considering installing such devices in every Moscow school to monitor the conditions in which our children are living and schooling. So here you can see also location and activity trackers. I think that we are reinvent the solution for this area. We are using the combining of Bluetooth and LP1 technologies, which allows us to create a small beacons which are work up to 5 years from battery, and it's a wearable devices which can be used, for example, for smart construction yard or for monitoring the employees inside different trade centers and etc. Here is also our movement sensors, loyalty or order buttons, and smart seals for oil barrels. So we can practically develop any kind of devices which are needed by you. We have a strong R&D in our team, so please send us request if you need something. We will try to solve this task. Here is 2 slides with deep technical details of comparison between the most recognized technology on this market. Right now in LP1, it's LoRa and Sigfox. I would say that from the same battery, we are at least 3 times better in terms of energy efficiency. We can send a signal for a longer distance, and our capacity is much higher. They are 30 times better than LoRa, for example, at maximum distance in terms of network bandwidth. And comparison with NB-IoT or LTM, we 2 technologies which are used by cell operators. We are much cheaper. We are incredibly energy efficiency when NB-IoT devices, and our infrastructure is lower cost. That's why we can quickly organize the coverage where the network has some problem. It's actually one of the biggest problem for cell companies when, for example, you need to create a coverage inside a huge building. It can be happens that in some parts of this building you will not have coverage, and it's a huge problem for cell operators to rebuild the coverage because you need to formally agree the installation of base station. It's costly, and for LP1 technologies it's much simpler to install the coverage. So that's all. Here is my contact. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me, and I hope that we will have new partners from Malaysia. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you for your presentation. So let's go ahead. Company called Superhands. Markov, are you here, Mark? So
yes,
Mark,
I am. Hi, how are you?
I hope, yeah, Very good. And you?
Good, thank you.
Yep. Nice to hear from you. So Mark will tell us about how they help companies with their advanced artificial intelligence solutions. So please go ahead.
Sure. Good afternoon, good morning. My name is Mark. I am the CEO and co-founder of Superhands. We're a company that was founded in Malaysia in 2014. We're all based out here in Kuala Lumpur, but all our clients are international. So primarily in the US, Australia, and other parts of the ASEAN nations. Sorry, let me just try to get this. So Superhands was built to help businesses across the world accelerate the adoption of AI by helping them prepare high quality data for their machine learning and artificial applications. Superhands works with our clients, generally deep tech companies, to label and annotate training data for machine learning applications. We then help these companies validate the output to improve performance on an ongoing basis. So what we have here is a typical AI ML lifecycle. Where we sit is the second part of the flow, and we focus on labeling and annotating images and text data for these different clients, primarily in the agriculture, retail AI space. A lot of data scientists and machine learning engineers know that the accuracy and performance of AI models is correlated to the quality and volume of their training data. So this means that engineers and data scientists spend quite a bit of time, up to 25% of their time annotating data to improve their models. It is very difficult and definitely costly to get model performance up to a very high accurate level of say 99.99%. And that's where Superhands as a company, and that's where we come in. We focus on improving AI performance for computer vision and NLP models. Our mission is to accelerate the adoption of AI across the world by automating the labeling of data. The three key aspects to achieve the best results lie in speed, scale, and accuracy. This is something that we found across all our clients. And this means building sophisticated technology, the tools that we've created, our AI models, our workflow to enhance the client experience. Superhands builds our own proprietary tools to help us achieve results. Super Annotator is an annotation tool that works with images. Taking raw images in the thousands, we are able to label these at very great speed, or very high speed, and at a very high accuracy level. Our tools are cloud-based. That means it allows teams from all around the world to interact and integrate with these tools. The basic annotation work, like bounding boxes, are automated by our models. However, what we also have is a global distributed workforce of about 13,000 people to work on edge cases, or better known as long tail cases for any model creation. The data workflow is automated. And what we receive raw images on one end, usually text or images from our clients. On our platform, the data is then annotated by machine and then by humans according to different client SLAs. It is then quality controlled at scale and exported back to our different clients. This is an ongoing loop until clients achieve very high performing computer vision and NLP AI models. I'm going to run through a couple of use cases that will probably help you understand the kind of work that we do with different clients. So we work a lot on semantic tagging for clients in the consumer, customer experience management industry, specializing in work that requires, a lot of domain and language capabilities. So for example, we do work with clients generally in English, but a lot of the time we do get different cases that require us to bring on speakers in Mandarin, Bahasa Malaysia, Bahasa Indonesia, Tagalog. At the moment, no Russian, but I'm sure that is something that we could work on in the future. We work a lot with retail AI clients, primarily in the US, and a lot of the work that we do is annotating products on shelves. So we're helping them to identify out-of-stock items on the shelf, as well as helping them do object detection of the different brands that are sitting on certain shelves. So the client in this case would be a robotic company that works a lot with large grocery stores like Walmart. So we work also with ag-tech companies across the US as well as Australia. And I guess a lot of the work that we do is helping them do crop counting, helping them to annotate and understand diseased plants, understand fruit yield or potential yield of crops that they have on their plantations. So yeah, we've been around for about 6 years now, and we basically manage understand client satisfaction through an NPS score. And what this means is we always see a good growth in NPS, which is actually, so 91 is a very high score for us, and we're very proud of that score. That means that we've satisfied a lot of client requirements over the years. Over the last 12 months, we've seen a great spike in clients, so about 167% growth in different clients. From large ones to obviously some very small ones across. And it's very good to sort of see that during a difficult period like 2020. A lot of companies, I think, have been moving into digitalization, helping to integrate AI. So we're seeing a bit more an uplift on that. So we definitely look forward to a lot more, I guess, work from not just Malaysian clients, but clients all across the world, especially Russia. So yeah, please feel free to reach out to me. My name is Mark, and this is my email address. I'll be happy to take any questions, jump on a call. Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Mark. So thank you for your great presentation with good examples of specific cases and solutions where you can help businesses all around the world. I hope Russia will be in this list too. Thanks, Mark. Let's go ahead. And thanks for keeping timing.
No problem.
Company name Iv8 Technologies, and its representative Yuri, Business Development Director. Yuri, please go ahead and give some words about Iv8. Iv8 is a Russian company providing advanced telecom equipment solution and software products. So yes, please, Yuri, go ahead.
Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you, Renat, very much for the introduction. Iv8 Technologies is a company belonging to high-tech group of companies. We've been in the market around 7 years, and we have developed for this amount of time a significant group of research and development people, which is around 350 right now. So we are able to develop our own solutions in different fields. But today I'm going to talk specifically about our biometric face recognition solution and video analytics based on our own AI and convolutional networks. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to talk about a case we did specifically for Nissan and their intelligent mobility program. I think it's a good example of how we can use a commercial use case in smart cities, because it is based on the idea of evaluating and quantifying the customer experience, not only in terms of commercial products, but also in terms of attention to public while you're giving services to people in public offices. So we took a model of 7 steps. This is, of course, related to the commercial part, but the idea is to use it in different use cases where we have to have attention to the public. The first idea is to receive, engage, give a sensation of welcomeness, show cooperation, give a little bit of taste of the service, and provide a relaxation moment, and to lead to the decision of the customer to adopt the brand. So our first two steps regarding attraction and engagement, it's a personalized welcome, because if this person has been already in the chain of the dealerships or the public offices, we are able to recognize it, storing in our database, and those allowing us to give them a welcome which will differentiate us from other services. Also, we have the possibility to give a targeted video in the reception with the display screens that we are showcasing for the public. This will be able to not just randomly place any advertisement, but also to provide a targeted advertisement in terms of gender and age. For example, for female, we will play some female car models associated with female car models. We can play in the same screens when a male person approaches a advertisement of different type of cars, and when we are facing a family with child, we can play them a video which will generate positive sensation of the child and association with the brand. Also, we can store new customers in the brand, because if we recognize a face that is entering into the dealership and we don't have this face in the database, this will automatically create a new ticket or a new customer in the database, and this will allow us to provide a increasement in the information we get about the clients that we receive, and we are able to track them. And in this case, I think this is a very helpful solution to automate the process of inputting new customers in the databases. Of course, we have the possibility to create outdoors counters. This will allow us to identify how much people we are able to attract from the outdoors of the stores inside of the doors. Not everything applies to the public sector, but the idea is to, of course, replace it to some other types of motivation and to use public offices. The process of attraction and engagement, basically it's understanding what your client were looking for, maybe even having some previous visits from this client in order to maximize the result of the current visit by having information of the interests that this person had in their previous occasion, and also to generate statistics, which are the key to understanding your customer and the business. This is what is commonly known as business intelligence, and it's to know, for example, that in front of the store we had just 2,000 people that walked by, and from that 2,000 people we had that 10% of people who were actually interested and came into the store, and then we can segment these people by age, by gender, and we can replenish our database in accordance to the information we get from this automation of the process. Cooperation and sensation. The idea is to feel how the customer perceives, or to understand how the customer perceives the inside of the dealership or service center or the public office, in order to make a possibility to improve and create a positive sensation or feeling regarding the brand or the service that we are providing. Using heat maps, for example, understanding where the client feels more comfortable or spends more time, what is there that is interesting for the client. Tracking the process of what is the steps followed by the customers and the consultant inside of the dealership to understand where they're heading and how it should be done properly. Of course, the possibility to control the conversation process, to be able to understand if the consultant is sticking with the script, if he's being polite, if he's making his maximum effort. All these will be able to give us the possibility to quantify something which is not touchable, which is the relation between the consultant and the customer and the perception of the customer to the brand or to the dealership or any service. So as previously described, the sensation and cooperation starts when the reception, where the consultant has the information already present of the person who is entering to the store, the possible customer, or if it's a new customer, then the process could be different. We could also imagine some additional features with a VIP zone and taking it to that testing area to maximize their experience and also to track all this process. The idea is to be able to work with congestion lines, also to understand how the consultants or the people working inside of the office are performing, how is their behavior, and also to work with triggers and alerts, which will fight against the bad approach to the clients or to the customers, and will provide us instruments to improve in the user experience provided by the consultant or the people who attend the public. This is the part where we create a positive sensation to the brand, to the solution, to the services provided. We have a uniqueness touch with additional VR experience to complete and maximize the immersion of the customer feeling about the brand. The possibility to track the experience inside of the car, where you are able to install emotion recognition cameras and understand on which step of the or on which moment of his drive testing experience he's most satisfied or perceiving something negative. This is something to work for understanding improvements inside of the cars as well. This is how we see it when we are able to deal with this business intelligence. We are able to also understand how the consultant is performing and what is needed to be done in order to improve this performance of the consultant. And as for the decision, we provide a total track of the statistics and business intelligence of what's been through the store, the dealership, or the service center, or even a public office, where we are able to totally correlate between the work of the staff inside of this organization and with their performance with the customers. So this will give us the possibility to work on the process and improve it and automate it as much as possible. Basically, that is everything that I wanted to tell you about our company and about this particular use case. So thank you very much. If you have any questions, you can contact me through the information, from the contact information that my colleague will provide us.
Thanks, Yuri. Thank you very much. So we have 2 companies left. So next one, Albert, Gloop Technologies. So please go ahead and ready to tell us about your advanced solutions, mainly in machine learning and computer vision. So I had a chance to talk to Albert in person, so really impressive and really advanced. Albert, are you here? Can you hear us?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, selamat siang. Hello.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you. So I'll share the screen with you guys. I think Yuri, who was presenting earlier, I happened to catch his presentation. So it was quite similar to what we've been doing. I don't know why I can't seem to bring this up here. Oh, okay. Can you see the screen now? Oh, sorry. I didn't. When I was connecting to the screen. Anyway, I'm Albert Alexander from Gloop Technologies. Just to say what we do exactly. And basically, we are a company we are founded in 2015 in Malaysia owned. We are located in PGA, Malaysia. And what we develop is the next generation of solutions that transforms human-computer interaction. That basically enables machines to understand how the human feels, who we are, and how we perceive the environment among us. And our presence is basically in Malaysia and Asia Pacific countries. So the problems that we solve is very much on data science, help data grow exponentially, to help our clients to gain insights, to help them to create a value for competitive edge and new customer experience. And every client today is looking for trusted partners, and this is where we are trusted partners that helps to realize the promises of AI and data analytics everywhere from the edge to the cloud to data center. And more or less, we help to develop and deliver a more powerful, flexible, secure, efficient computing and data architecture with integrated AI expertise. So our product suite, we clarify very much into computer vision and data analytics, very much in a solution lately because of the pandemic. We developed a pandemic tracking solution, a media that's quite close to, in terms of targeted media, we'll explain as we go along. Security, retail, a smart city, and everything combines that and put it into in the big data. So this is basically our pandemic tracker that basically we currently at this point of time in pandemic, where we use a thermal camera to detect body temperature, mass detection, face recognition, footfall and people count, fall detection, tracking social distancing, using it for attendance tracking, monitoring and alerts, and also data analytics as well. So this is basically that we have built it so that, if anybody's contracts COVID-19, we'll be able to track who they are socially in contact with, and then identify them and then send them for maybe for a test. And the other solution is basically on media. This is very closely to what Yuri talked about, but we do more on digital signboards. And we work with clients both locally and abroad as well. That's basically has to do with audience measurement, tracking opportunity to see, and more or less the processing is done by edge processing. Then you can have 3 different digital screens side by side. It just pushes advertisements based on the targeted persons whom we're targeting. And we do computation like cost per impressions. That basically helps you to do an ROI on your ad spend. So this data analytics is all presented in a dashboard, or in a mobile, or is in a PC. So easy for you to see. So we also integrate this particular software of ours to proprietary content management players to push ads and also to glean data on the data analytics part, so that the advertisers will be having information: who are the people watching the ads, how many people are watching it, whether their target audience is being engaged, and what is their emotional response, whether they see the advertisement, whether they're happy or they get disgusted by it, or things like that. And we also gone into security because it's everything to do with computer vision analytics. So with the AI engine at the back, more of a convolutional neural networks that we built in, that is on detecting people count, attendance tracking, instant alerts, fall detections, and we also do enrollment by mobiles, so that if you're talking about registering for a course, you can register through a mobile, and at the same time when you go there, you can also people know that you're the person who registered for the course and let you in. So that's pretty cool. That's why you're finding a lot of traction coming in. And this is something that we have deployed on retail, where we'll be able to track people in real time in terms of customer sentiment analysis, heat mapping, and customer count. And we also integrate the vector. Basically, there's a lot of privacy loss issues. So we don't really store the image. We create a vector of the image. Then we identify that person, whether it's the same person that's coming in. Then we integrate to the CRM as well. Then we also look at staff productivity, identifying returning customers, repeat customers, or new customers. The face recognition module helps us in that part. And we also alert on known shoplifters and also on VAPIs and profiling customers as well. There's a lot of data analytics goes behind the scene. Currently, it gives you the insight whenever they run a campaign, they'll be able to know whether there's new customers coming in and where they go, whether they go to the gold section or the diamond section or the silver section, those kind of things that we do. So we integrate it so we have a complete view of performance of each of the retail outlets from a single dashboard at a command center. And of course, we also work on smart city, on traffic, in terms of vehicle count detection, speed analysis, and a lot of devices are processed on the edge so that the data, and then we only push metadata to the cloud. And we also do things like number plate recognition, and then on traffic violations, parking maintenance, parking management, and all this data is basically on real time. And key technologies I mentioned earlier that help us to do this is computer vision using machine learning frameworks, AI, and processing is done on the edge. And the key advantages is that we have a plug and play solution. They use very low bandwidth with edge processing, cost effective, and big data analytics. Basically, that's where the science of data science come into play. And we also have global local support from global companies. So we work quite closely with companies like HP, Dell, and we have our partners is NVIDIA. And we have also validated with sales worldwide. And in fact, currently we are working with a client out in Brazil. I think they're reaching us through social media with us. So that's where we are today. If there's any questions that we have, this is my contact. This is our website. Please feel free to connect if there's an opportunity for business that we can do together, or we can collaborate in common technologies that we have strengths in. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Albert. Right in time. So thank you. It's a good presentation. No doubt that today's advanced data and video analytics can help companies to reduce costs and increase revenue. So yeah, thanks. Hope you will have a great chance to build a technology partnership with Russian companies like Yuri's company Iv8. So there's a lot of things in common. So and your like a common solution might be more advanced. Let's go ahead. The last company is called .ai. It's a Russian company, as you already understand, developing AI-based solutions to help solving various problems. So, Victor, please go ahead and tell us some words about your platform.
Okay, can you hear me and can you see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, so good afternoon, dear colleagues and partners. At first, I would like to thank Tech Global and Russian trade representative Nikita Ponomarenko for this opportunity to present our company and our products. My name is Victor Kiselev, and I represent .ai from the city of Yaroslavl in Russia. We design and develop machine learning algorithms which deal with computer vision systems, systems of natural language processing, prediction systems, and decision optimization system. Our company was established in 2015 by IT specialists from Yaroslavl State University, and our core competence is research and development in artificial intelligence. We provide custom AI-based solutions for companies and enterprises, helping them to improve their products. So we help companies to reduce expenses, to improve their customer service, to make results stable and predictable, and we help entrepreneurs to feel confident about their business. So let me take a brief overview of our products. The first one is a system of endoscopic images analysis. It helps to detect pathological formations in the stomach, cancer and precancerous conditions. This system analyzes video data during endoscopic examination in real time. Now a software prototype is put into trial operation in the Yaroslav Regional Oncological Hospital. So it helps to detect some cancerous or precancerous conditions on endoscopic video data. Another group of our products is connected with objects classification and recognition. Here we can offer a variety of solutions which can be applied to a wide range of objects, such as people, vehicles, industrial products, surface defects, etc. We have developed such a system for one Russian network of retail stores, and this system helps to detect regular customers and form personal offers for them. One more group of our products is connected with satellite image analysis. This system can be used to locate object over a large area. It helps customers to identify illegal waste dumps, unregistered buildings, and it can be also used for planning agrotechnical works in agriculture. Here you can see some other implementations of our products for different companies and purposes. For example, we have implemented quality control system for the State Fund of Compulsory Health Insurance in Moscow region. We created personal greeting system for the forum Russia Calling, which was run by VTB Capital in Russia. We have also launched demographic statistics system for the stand of Russian quality system Roskачество, and a Q-length control system for grocery stores network. In our work, we use the most modern and up-to-date equipment, including supercomputers such as NVIDIA DGX1. Our projects is implemented at a very high technological level. You can visit our website to check out more information about our company and about our products. Feel free to contact us either directly or through Tech Global and our trade representatives. We are very much interested in joining international R&D projects and invite everyone to cooperate with us. Thank you for your attention.
Thanks, Victor. Yeah, it's fantastically most organized session I ever participated in. So thank you, everyone. We are right in time, so 6 minutes left. Would like to give some closing notes and would like to thank you, everyone. Thanks, speakers, for your great presentations today. And please, I would like to mention that please consider today's session as an introduction. So as a first entry step into a process that will help us to definitely help us to build the future business cooperation between our countries, our companies. So not a lot of companies cover it. So that is why we're open to any suggestions, discussions, and I will be happy to share all our portfolio we do have here in Tech Global. So here is my, just in case, here is my contact information. So please write down so email address and phone number. So as I already mentioned, not a lot of companies cover it today from Malaysian and from Russian side, and I will be happy to introduce them to you and help for mutual cooperation. We will continue tomorrow, so please use the same link and see you. Have a great day. Terima kasih. And thanks, spasiba. Thanks, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you here in the sessions. So please join us tomorrow. Join us the day after tomorrow. We will discuss cybersecurity solutions and we will cover some problems in the cybersecurity development. Thank you everyone for being here. Would like to officially close today's session. Have a great day. Bye-bye.